I'll admit, when it comes to triggers, I am totally spoiled. And as a Savage owner, the fact that Bix'n Andy just came out with 2 awesome triggers is great news. We're gonna look at both of those triggers in depth in this video. Hey guys, Gavin Gear here from UltimateReloader.com. This is not the first video that we've done covering Bix'n Andy triggers. In fact, you're gonna want to check out a story that we published approximately 1 year ago where we partnered with Bullet Central to go through pretty much the entire lineup of Bix'n Andy triggers, including the competition trigger, the competition 2-stage trigger, the TAC Sport X trigger, the TAC Sport Pro X trigger, and Bix'n Andy's hunting trigger, which is the Dakota. In each of these cases, we went through, installed them on a rifle, went through pretty much minimum or lower pull weight settings, medium pull weight settings, and maximum pull weight settings, and ran trigger scan. We have a trigger scan TS11 from Dvorak Instruments. This is the world's premier trigger testing scientific lab fixture. What it does is it uses a motorized load cell. It runs through the entire distance of the trigger pull and it gives you a force versus distance plot. This is really interesting because it can visually document things like take up, creep, over travel, and peak force. So what you see down here is examples of our trigger scan results from this very broad testing that we did of Bix'n Andy triggers. Now, Bix'n Andy triggers are a little bit different than most triggers. They use what's called the ball trigger mechanism. So literally, the mechanism of the trigger is riding on ball bearings. How cool is that? It's a pretty unique design. It's a patented design. And if you go back to that story I mentioned that we published about a year ago, we walked through the internals of these triggers in depth. That's out of scope for this video, but you're definitely going to want to check the other video if you're interested. Okay, so here's what Bix'n Andy has recently released for Savage. We've got the Dakota, which is great because a lot of people hunt with Savage rifles. But then we also have the TAC Sport Pro X. So you have 2 different options here. One that has approximately a 1.3 to 3.5 pull weight range, that's the Dakota, and then a more pro-oriented TAC Sport Pro X that goes down to about 0.55 pounds and up to 2.2 pounds. So before I did any of the work with the Bix'n Andy triggers for Savage rifles, I did a baseline. I've got this Savage 116 factory rifle. It had the factory Accu trigger. It's got a bladed safety design, which is pretty interesting and overall works pretty well. As you can see here, the trigger scan results were extremely consistent. But we observed a 3.25 minimum pull weight. This is an older model. It's probably from something like 2008 or something like that. I had it cranked down to minimum, and for me, this is just not nearly low enough. Depending on the rifle, I'm kind of a little bit of an outlier. I like to have my triggers set to probably around 10 ounces to 12 ounces, so under a pound when I can, but a pound is great. If I can get that, that works really, really well for hunting. So after doing the Accu trigger baseline, I did a swap on the Savage 116 from the factory Accu trigger to the Dakota trigger. This is a really easy install. There's one tricky thing that I'll mention that you're going to need to keep track of. But basically, you're going to remove the single pin that holds the trigger in place. There's a torsion spring, and you've got your bolt release. Entire trigger assembly pops off. You've got your safety bar that's a part of the factory trigger. This gets removed. This is replaced by the mechanism of the Dakota trigger. The safety button is retained, and you carefully put the trigger in place. You get your torsion spring kind of loaded in place, push down on that bolt release lever, put the pin through. That's really about all there is to it. Both of these trigger have a single trigger pull weight adjustment screw. With the 116 model, I was able to get it at an angle with a ball end 1.5 millimeter Allen key screwdriver. So that made this one really, really convenient. The way that the TAC Sport Pro X is designed, I took the barrel action out of the stock each time because of the trigger well area and just not quite enough clearance. for that. So it's not difficult at all to do a Savage trigger install, and if you follow the instructions that are provided by Bullet Central, it'll guide you through the process. Okay, so then I did the trigger scan on the Dakota. And what I did was I went sort of near minimum, I went mid-range, and then cranked it up to pretty much max. And near minimum, we could go a little bit further, but I don't like to go all the way. I like to take up a little bit of the slack at the bottom of the adjustment range. We saw a minimum trigger pull weight of about 1.6 pounds. In the mid-range, we were at 2.2 pounds. And at the top of the range, we cranked it all the way up to, and that yielded 3.71 pounds. You can see how consistent the trigger pull weight is here on the graphs. So for a hunting rifle, we basically cut the trigger pull weight in half. That is amazing. And I know a lot of you are going to be in that 2-pound range, and so that would put you just under halfway between minimum and maximum on this. So I think the Dakota trigger would be absolutely awesome for pretty much any Savage hunting rifle. Then it was time to test the TAC Sport Pro X. The process here was pretty much the same. I cranked the screw all the way in, cranked it all the way out, counted the number of turns, started at minimum, ran my scans, put it into the middle of the range, ran a few more scans, cranked it all the way, and then did a final 3 scans. At low but not quite minimum, we were at 0.8 pounds. In the middle of the range, it yielded 1.5 pounds. And at max, we were at 2.7 pounds. So if you're interested in precision long range work, target work, I would definitely recommend the TAC Sport Pro X over the Dakota. So for shooting, I focused on the TAC Sport Pro X, and this is a Savage Model 110 6.5 Creedmoor with a threaded barrel. So I proceeded to install this Athlon Helos BTR Gen 2. This is the 6-24 by 56. Interestingly, the Savage came with Weaver style rail sections. And I found a set of Athlon rings that would work with either Weaver or Picatinny, which is a really nice capability to have. I don't have to buy a full-length rail for this rifle because I've got these Athlon rings. The scope install went really smooth. I did put a Lone Star level on. This is going to be really important later in my shooting experience that I'll talk about in just a moment. So I went to 100 yards and using the bipod and rear bag, kept the rifle as still as possible and compared looking through the bore without the bolt in place, of course, and through the scope. I finally adjusted it so that they pretty much visually agreed, and I was on paper in the second shot. 3 shots, I had a really solid 0, and that concluded my work at 100 yards. Where things really got fun was when I drove the side-by-side with the rifle and ammo up to the Ultimate Reloader Ridgeline. Now, our Ridgeline has been closed for long-range shooting for months. Back in June, when the grass got tall and it got dry, we stopped shooting steel targets at range. This year we had some crazy wildfires, and I personally don't want to be responsible for that kind of catastrophe. So we pretty much don't shoot steel targets unless we can drive to them in about 60 seconds during those months. Recently we got a whole bunch of rain, which is huge, great news for me. Couldn't wait to get up to the ridgeline to do some shooting. So I started at 335 yards with a couple of rock chucks. This is how that went. So the dope was spot on, which is great, and it's always fun to shoot those DM targets little rock chucks. They are the size of a real rock chuck, and I would have had no problem hitting them at 335 yards. Then I moved over to 660 yards to do some shooting on an IPSC, and this is how that went. So as you can see, I missed my first shot and then I held top edge. Right then, I took a look at my bubble level and I noticed I was canted off to the side. And that means some of your elevation adjustment is going to windage and you're not getting full elevation. So I proceeded to carefully look at the bubble level, take another shot holding dead center, and this is the result.
Top edge. One more. My scope too. Nice.
I had approximately 6 shots in a row land on that 660-yard IPSC target, and I held dead center, right? That is because I got a really, really good zero, and I used my Athlon Rangecraft to get a really precise velocity. And it's just amazing with all of this modern equipment of just how easy it is to get on target. Then I shifted over to 706 yards, and this is what happened.
Very good. Up 5.2.
Oh yeah, we're talking about 6 for 6 at 706. That is a really good feeling, and I could see my grouping on the target. It was probably about like that. A really, really good feeling, and overall, super impressed with this budget rifle in 6.5 Creedmoor. It's got an economy rubber overmolded stock. It's not really overly rigid. The scope tracked awesome. I've got some upgrades in mind for this rifle, so make sure that you're subscribed so that you can see those. But even in this baseline form, once we took care of the trigger, shot really, really well. Okay, so to wrap it all up, you've got 2 great options for Savage drop-in, super high-quality triggers from Bix'n Andy at Bullet Central. Very clean, very predictable trigger break. This is what I'm looking for in a precision trigger. It's going to adjust down to a reasonable pull weight, and it's going to be completely predictable. I know when it's going to break. I know when the shot is going to go off, and that gets me mentally prepared, and it helps to not flinch off target and all of that. Huge upgrade for these Savage rifles. If you have a Savage and if you're looking for a really high quality drop-in trigger, definitely check out the Dakota and the TacSport Pro X from Bullet Central. Are you running one of these Savage drop-in triggers from Bix'n Andy? Please drop a comment. I'd love to hear how it's going for you, what kind of rifle you put it on, and what you're shooting. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching Ultimate Reloader on TV and want to take advantage of free resources, exclusives, and hot deals, just hold your camera phone, up to the QR code, tap on the link, fill out the information, boom, you're getting Ultimate Reloader emails. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. Thanks again for watching.